by Slaughterville, Lexington. Steely will put some lightning on that. That cell is moving primarily off to the east very slowly, but we'll see how this transpires as we head later on into the evening here. This has not really been in a zone that should be severe, but we've had obviously a number of severe as well as tornado-warned storms out there. So we'll keep an eye on this one, but I don't think this one really is going to be an area that we have to be too concerned about for any severe potential, or at least for it to be long-lasting or widespread. It's not exactly as favorable as more of the northern part of the state as well as the southwest part of the state. But still, though, locations that have been dealing with some of the cleanup, you're likely looking at these showers and storms passing nearby the area for us. So we still have our tornado warning down to our south from there, and we've got it going for the next 9 minutes in portions of Caddo County. And we'll turn the lightning off here. We'll turn our velocity back on, so it's still spinning. It still has an area of rotation, and it's heading again pretty much between the Boone area and the Apache area. You're going to want to make sure that you are taking your tornado precautions in these spots, and still heading to the north very slowly here towards the Hatchettville area, Stecker, Broxton, as well as Pine Ridge down the line. The track not going to be very accurate with this as it's moving very slow at about 10 miles an hour. So still, though, if you've been called within this polygon, just want to make sure that you're going to your shelter, to your safe spot, because it's moving very, very slowly. We can try to do something here, but with it only moving to the north at around about 10 miles an hour or so, we're probably not going to get much in the way of too many names here with time of arrivals. We'll just do something like that. Yeah, about 10 miles an hour. Yeah, so Boone, Apache, again, got to make sure that you are seeking shelter. Hatchettville, Stecker, Broxton, Pine Ridge, that you're also doing that as well. All right. Just taking the latest from the storm from National Weather Service on chat. Town of Medford is completely without a power. That's not where these storms are right now. Again, still looks to be pretty good looking on our velocity. I'll change it between, kind of halfway between the Frederick radar and also the Twin Lakes radar. So it's still got some spin on it, as you can clearly tell here with either radar. So it's still there, moving very, very slowly off to the north. And yep, still there. So again, Boone, Apache, Hatchettville, Broxton, Stecker, please be sure to seek shelter as of now. Hopefully you've been there. We've been calling your name out now for quite a while, and we want to make sure that we're still treating this very seriously here. Now it's dark. It's going to be potentially rain wrapped here because the way that it's moving here towards you is going to be rain wrapped there. So it's right there in the middle. Does not look to be like you'd be anything that you could see. So make sure that we're, again, not exactly just blowing this off. Make sure that we are taking this seriously and heading to our shelter, heading to our safe spot. So that is our tornado warning. We have that going until 9 o'clock. Still trying to wait and see how that's going to impact our newscast here, as there might still be more tornado warnings. I'm not sure out of that one. Everything else has gone down below severe limits, which is good. We've got more severe storms in portions of the northern part of the state. So you've got Kay County, 2 different severe thunderstorm warnings for you guys there, the eastern side as well as the western side, as those storms are primarily interacting with the Kansas storms there. Could be looking at winds of 60 to 70 miles an hour with these, as well as the potential for some quarter-sized hail out of those. Still have on the South Metro there those showers and some storms. In terms of anything severe out of these, nothing there yet. There might be some lightning with them like we still have there. There might be some small hail and some gusty winds with this cell there, not only by the Lexington, Wayne area, but also by Cole too, with some of those showers. And then those also kind of extend along the river there. But really, though, that is our closest storm to the metro as of this time. It has never been severe, and we'll still continue to keep an eye on it here. But we're approaching 9 o'clock. Chief Meteorologist Jack Gerfen here. We've got a tornado-warned storm that is down in the southern part here of Caddo County that does go until we get to 9 o'clock. We still are watching an area of rotation that can be visible there on our velocity. And we're just kind of waiting here for the latest here from the National Weather Service. This again goes until 9 o'clock tonight. And we are still kind of keeping an eye on All right, so we got a new tornado warning for south central and southwest, or south central Caddo County until this goes until 9:45. So we got this going until 9:45 here for tonight. So guys, let you guys know that might not be having a whole lot of a newscast here for this evening, but we'll still keep an eye on things here. As again, we've lost our confirmed tornado warning out of this, but it's now a radar indicated tornado warning. But still, though, it has had the potential at times, with it being confirmed earlier on, to still be able to produce a tornado. So we are going to still kind of keep our eye on the same locations here. It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, we're just kind of getting our plans here as a result of the fact that this tornado warning now goes until 9:45. Our newscast starts at 9, so we had to still, unfortunately, be dealing with severe weather here after a very active weekend here. You can see that we are still looking at a good area of rotation here by the Boone and Apache area, heading to the north extremely slowly here towards towards Apache, towards Apache Way. But you can also see that Anadarko is still not within the tornado warning. So our friends at Anadarko is still not in this warning. It's just so slowly moving to the north here that the new polygon is really just very small out there and is hardly any different than where it was earlier on. So we got that new tornado warning that is moving generally off to our north, still only around 10 miles an hour with half-dollar sized hail. So we've got the hail also still large with that storm too. But again, you're going to see that we got the confirmed tornado warning that goes until 9. That's going to fall off. And then we're going to be looking at the radar indicated tornado warning to continue here until 9:45 here tonight. So we've got just basically that one storm that's out there. Everything else remains. We got some severe weather in Kiowa County with that other severe thunderstorm warning there, but that's it. Then there are more severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings down farther to our south, and then we're also watching severe thunderstorm warnings to our north too. Those are for more of the line of storms in Kansas, Alfalfa, Grant, as well as K counties. You guys have that severe thunderstorm warning that goes until 9:15, and then the eastern side of K County going into Osage County and farther off to the east, that goes until 9:30. That was to me, Jeremy. I don't know if Wendy heard that. Okay, it's okay. So we are still kind of keeping an eye out on those storms to our north. So then again, we have our tornado warning in Caddo County that continues until 9:45. We've got it moving to the north here, coming in at around about 10 miles an hour. And we are still looking at this potentially here to be capable of producing a tornado. And we'll put a track on from that area of our velocity and just kind of zoom on in. And you can see that we still have it there. We'll put a little bit of a lapse on it just so you can kind of see where it is. Still, though, very slow mover, and so because of that, we've got our just such a small difference here with our new polygon that has come up here. So we're still looking at the Boone, Apache areas to still be potentially impacted here. Then it now goes up closer to 281 when it's more in its east-west direction there. Anadarko still not within this tornado warning, but the Stecker area is, the Hatchettville area, the Broxton. Oh, copy that. Okay, so we're going to, now it's 9 o'clock, we're going to go to Wendy really quick here as I swap out my batteries here. So Wendy, we'll go to you right now.
A quick break as we show our viewers at home a look at some damage that we're seeing already from tonight's line of severe weather. This looks to be damage from a tornado in Cordell. You can see here there are trees down, power poles leaning, several buildings missing a roof. Schools will be closed tomorrow because of this damage, and no word yet on when it will reopen. In case you're wondering, Cordell, about 100 miles west of Oklahoma City. This is another small town, only about 3,000 residents here. So you can see this is really just going to devastate this small community. So far, I'm not seeing any reports of any injuries, but of course, we're going to keep an eye out and an ear to the ground as our crews are now on the scene assessing assessing that damage, but you can see some severe damage tonight in that town of Cordell as we're seeing even more severe storms popping up. Jack, you're keeping an eye on those. Can you tell us what's the latest?
Yep. All the warning now is within Caddo County. It continues until 9:45. It's moving very slowly off to our north here. So the Boone area, Apache, Hatchettville, Stecker, Broxton, Pine Ridge, got to make sure that we are taking our tornado precautions as we are again looking at this to be a slow moving storm. In fact, all of our tornado warnings that we've had out there today have been very isolated, but also very, very slow moving too. About 20 miles an hour is about the max that any of these have been moving, and most of them have been at 10 miles an hour or even less. We've actually had a number of warnings earlier on here this evening where they're actually stationary. They're totally stationary. So we have seen very slow movers today. There's no steering winds in the upper atmosphere, so that's why they've been able to just move really, really slowly there throughout the evening. We've got, again, that tornado warning that continues here until 9:45 for Caddo County. And just taking a look here at the latest here. Severe thunderstorm warnings going to be coming out for Comanche, Kiowa, and Tillman. So that's going to be down here. So there's our storms down there as they are still packing a punch. There's also still some rotation being seen with some of these storms. And there's also more in the way of some tornado warnings down there for Tillman County. So we've got kind of a busy, just kind of southwest corner of the state there. And then also in the north central part of the state, we've got that area there of storm activity as that is where we are looking at. All right, so I'm getting kicked off here. So we are going to be doing our newscast and then come to me to cover the tornado. So we'll give me the thumbs up when you guys are ready over there, guys, and then we'll go from there. So when you give me the thumbs up, then I'll toss it over to you then. So we are still tracking storms here. We've got a number of severe thunderstorm warnings in the northern part of the state for portions of Alfalfa, Grant, as well as Kay counties until 9:15. We are then also looking at Kay County to have their severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30. And then we've got some cells that are by Lexington and kind of the South Metro area there. And then in terms of any lightning, there's not much with that one anymore. But we're still watching our main area here within Caddo County with our tornado warning there. So when you guys give me the all clear over there, give me the thumbs up. Okay, so we'll continue with our newscast. And Adam, Wendy, take it away.
Look like city landfill just dropped right on you.
A horse ranch in Marietta left with thousands of dollars in damage after a tornado tore through the community. How the handler managed to save several of the horses in his care.
We'll do whatever we can to help, put the pieces back together.
Plus, the governor and other state officials touring the destruction, the action he's taking to ensure the communities get the help they need. And a group of volunteers are bringing in their skid steers. What inspired them to lend a helping hand? The news starts right now. The Cordell community assessing the damage left behind by a tornado touched down in that area just before 6 this evening. We've seen damage to several houses and buildings in the area. Power lines in town are leaning. Tons of trees are down. Cordell Public Schools closed tomorrow because of the storm damage. Now, storms continue across the state tonight as communities are still working to recover from strong tornadoes over the weekend.
Fox 25's chief meteorologist Jack Gerfen tracking a tornado-warned storm right now. Jack, I know you've been following this for some time. What is the latest?
These storms have really not been moving very much at all. We have this tornado warning for the south central part of Caddo County until 9:45, so it goes still for another 41 more minutes here. The reason why these have been such a long-lasting warning is because they've been very slow-moving storms. So we've had these storms moving at 20 miles an hour at the most. A lot of our storms have actually been 5 to only 10 miles an hour, and at times they've actually been stationary. So that's the reason why we are still looking at just this warning here to still continue. As we take a look at our velocity, you can still see that we are looking at an area there of rotation, but it's broadening out now probably at this point. We'll change our radar here to really kind of see. So yeah, so we're looking better, much better here than what we did just a little bit ago. But still, though, we've got this tornado-warned storm there that we've got and it has had a history of producing an actual tornado. It was confirmed here earlier on. So the Pine Ridge area, the Broxton area, the Stecker area, Hatchettville, still need to make sure that we're taking our tornado precautions. Again, we are still looking at this to be a storm that bears watching. That being said, though, a lot of our velocity has come down here. That rotation has come down quite a bit, and so that's some good news here for us. We've seen a lot in the way of hail from our storms here today. We've had many storms that have been warned for hail that could be up to at some points 3 inches in diameter. So it's been some very large hail out of these. The current hail core with our tornado warned storm, pretty small as of right now. And then as we take a look farther down to our southwest, from there, we've also had some larger hail cores coming there. That's going to be likely about 2 inches in diameter there. And then we've also been watching some gusty winds in the northern part of the state too. With also some larger hail cores there with some of those storms, but those storms are in a bit of a different environment. That's more of a linear storm mode up there, where we've got portions of Alfalfa, Grant, as well as Kay counties in that severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15. So we're still watching storms out there. The one that we're really concerned about, though, remains our tornado warned storm within Caddo County that came out of Comanche County. But thankfully, though, it does look to be a little bit less impressive now. So we'll still kind of keep updates on it throughout the rest of our evening. But we'll send it back to you guys now.
All right, Jack, thank you. We do have some new details tonight after the tornado outbreak we saw over the weekend. According to the Oklahoma State Department of Health, 296 storm-related injuries have been reported by area hospitals. The Oklahoma Chief Medical Examiner confirmed 4 storm-related deaths, 2 in Holdenville, 1 on I-35 near Marietta, and 1 in Sulphur. The governor's state of emergency has been updated to include additional counties like Lincoln, Oklahoma, Ofuskie, Payne, and Hughes. The executive order also extends the temporary suspension of size and weight limits for oversized vehicles and equipment responding from out of state to assist with power restoration efforts.
Young contractors are going the distance to help Oklahomans affected by the tornado in Sulphur. Fox 25's David Chazanoff spoke with one of them earlier. David, what are they doing to lend a hand?
Adam, here in Sulphur, we saw contractors using special equipment to clean up debris.
Wyatt Bynum and other contractors brought heavy pieces of equipment like this one to help families in need, free of charge.
People are in need, and I mean, people's livelihoods are broken right now. So, I mean, it was the smallest thing that I could do.
After hearing about the damage from Saturday's tornado, Bynum drove from Arkansas to Sulphur to help the town recover.
It looks like a bomb went off. It truly does. You see stuff on the news, and then you see it in real life, and it's way different. Just the being here and seeing, all the insulation from every house being just scattered.
The 22-year-old contractor brought a skid steer with him to pull trees and open up roads.
The first person that we helped Monday morning had a big elm tree through her master bedroom. She said, yeah, she's like, how much to get that taken care of? And I said, no, it's all free. We're just here to donate some time. And she teared up a little bit, which made me tear up a little bit.
It's Bynum's first time helping with tornado recovery efforts, and it's been an experience he'll never forget.
If I could make it, my whole life, just paying my bills and doing this, I would. I wouldn't need to make any more money per se. I just giving back is what makes me feel really good about what I'm doing in this world.
And we spoke with some homeowners off camera. They tell us they're very thankful for Bynum's help. Reporting live in Sulphur, David Chazanoff, Fox 25 News.
Thank you, David. The Oklahoma Standard has been on full display since Saturday night, people helping each other in every way possible. We spoke with one man yesterday whose quick action saved the lives of a family from California.
Get in.
For just minutes before the tornado hit Saturday night, he says as he was driving, he saw someone in need and no one else was stopping to help.
She yelled, get in. And he comes and opens the door, and the first thing he says, hey, we're from California. I don't know anybody. I have 2 little babies in the car. I said, get them and let's go. And so we got in, and we're trying to find shelter. I didn't even know where we were at. You could not see anything. And so finally we turned around. He goes, just take me back home. because we didn't know what to do. He said, "You want to stay with me?" And I said, "Man, I really need to get home." I said, I need to try to make it home. So me and him has been texting back and forth. He said, "I don't know one person in this town."
Dunn says he's been texting and checking in with that man since Saturday night.
While neighbors come together to pick things up, FEMA is getting a first look at what Sulphur, Oklahoma is facing.
I want to be able to see with my own eyes and talk to the people that have been impacted, understand the scale, so we can make sure that we are bringing in the right federal resources to come in and support this community during this initial response phase, but also on their road to recovery.
Along with lives lost and hundreds injured, there's a massive financial cost to the community. The Oklahoma Department of Emergency Management estimating the storm caused at least $7 million worth of damage. Many of the around 100 properties with total destruction aren't properly insured.
The amount of people that are underinsured or have no insurance really contributes into whether or not federal support will be needed.
If you have any damage to your property, Emergency Management asking you to report it on damage.ok.gov.
Governor Stitt was in Marietta today surveying the damage from the EF4 tornado that struck the town. The governor and the administrator of FEMA toured some of the worst hit areas, including the Mercy Health Love County Hospital. They also spoke about efforts to rebuild these communities.
The Oklahoma Standard is alive and well, and with the help of FEMA, we're going to rebuild because there's a lot of people. We're going to start with people that were uninsured and the small businesses and the Small Business Association or Small Business Administration loans to get them to rebuild is really, really important for us. Expensive.
And Governor Stitt was joined by Senator James Lankford in Marietta today. Senator Lankford says the economic impact of Saturday night storms needs to be addressed as quickly as possible.
For here in Marietta, it's extremely important. Obviously, all of these families, this hospital, this nursing home, major businesses that are here manufacturing, this is significant for us in this distribution center and the loss. So for this community, it's essential that not only get back up and get going quickly, but all the people that were employed here, it's important for all of their families.
The governor says he discussed the possibility of getting additional funding approved through the state legislature while they're still in session.
People in Marietta lost so much in the EF4 tornado, including their animals. Fox 25's Jamison Kiefover learned the tornado sent debris directly impacting farms and ranches.
It's been a tough time for the people of Marietta, Oklahoma, but it's also been a difficult time for the animals here. During the EF4 tornado, a handler had to come out and save these horses to make sure they survived. Orrin Welsh feeds and cares for the horses at Polo Ranch in Marietta. The blaring of the tornado siren Saturday night sent him and the ranch's owner searching for their 10 horses. They got all but 2 inside and then found them the next morning.
Seeing the 2 horses laying there all mangled up. We had 2 colts on the other side of where the fillies were at. Storm didn't hurt them, but it killed the 2 fillies.
They quickly buried the horses and started to assess the rest of the damage. Products and sheet metal from the Dollar Tree warehouse and Homeland are scattered through their pasture.
We had this whole thing look like a manicured golf course. Everything mowed, weeded, the whole 9 yards. And now looked like a city landfill just dropped right on you.
The buildings and the house on the property were saved from the storm, but the homes around them are destroyed.
Metal everywhere, trees uprooted. It was just, then the semis up on top of one another, and it was just unreal.
The horses they lost cost upwards of $50,000, along with the rest of the damage. One of the horses that was saved has a slice across his neck from debris, but Orrin says him and his horses are okay.
Very lucky to be alive.
Orrin's other job at the Dollar Tree warehouse is put on hold right now. But he says he will stay busy cleaning up the ranch for at least the next month. In Marietta, I'm Jamison Kiefover.
School closures continue today as communities work to clean up the storm damage, but some districts are looking to reopen soon. Marietta Public Schools says power has been restored to campus and in-person classes will resume tomorrow. However, state testing scheduled for this week will be moved to a later date. As for Sulphur Public Schools, it'll take a little longer to reopen due to damage on multiple campuses. The goal is for students to be back in class Monday, May 6th, but the district will give an update this weekend when more information is available.
The Red Cross of Oklahoma is on the ground helping those who've been impacted by the tornado outbreak. Right now, they have shelters open in Ardmore and Sulphur. While people are already pitching in to help, they could use more volunteers.
Yeah, we've gotten a great response from people as well looking to volunteer. We've had a lot of registered nurses who have offered their time to help people, and that's very valuable to us. Sometimes people in shelter have complex medical needs that our disaster workers aren't trained to help with, so having those nurses is great. If people do want to help by volunteering, the Red Cross is looking for people who can manage things in logistics, who can work in shelters, and who can help distribute supplies.
If you'd like to volunteer, head to this website, redcross.org/volunteer, and enter your zip code. The Red Cross says it'll be expediting background checks and offering on-the-job training to get you ready to serve in your appointed role. Fox 25 and our sister station in Tulsa are partnering with the American Red Cross to help Oklahomans devastated by deadly tornadoes. Red Cross teams are currently supporting 2 shelters and exploring 2 additional sites for service delivery, and they could use your help. Scan this QR code now, and your donation will go directly to our Red Cross chapter to help Oklahomans recover and rebuild.
Yep, it still is.
Now, Jack, what's the latest?
Down here just a little bit, but you can see though that we still do have in southern portions of Caddo County, we do have this just tornado warning here until 9:45. It really is coming down though in an intensity, which is great to see in terms of a velocity standpoint, in terms of rotation. It's really hard to see much of any of that out there from our Twin Lakes radar or even from our Frederick radar. We're about kind of in the middle of both of those there, and you can see that there's not a lot left over here. Now, it earlier was not only tornado warned, it actually was confirmed tornado warned. So thankfully though this is coming on down, but still though we'll still keep an eye on it for the southern portions of again Caddo County until 9:45. Tornado warning still continues there. So Apache and Stecker locations in and around that, and just off to the east of the Hatchettville area. Got to make sure that we are still taking our tornado precautions as of this time. You'll also see that when we turn our reflectivity back on, just how much heavy rain is being seen with these storms again across primarily southwest Oklahoma. There's also additional tornado warnings in portions of Tillman County as well as Comanche counties too. So those storms producing tornado warnings still too. And then back off to the west, we're still watching in Sentinel a few showers and storms that are there. We'll turn our lightning on and we'll show you that there's no lightning with those storms. And then we are also still watching severe thunderstorm warned storms up in the northern part of the state too. In fact, you can see that when we turn on our Vance Air Force Base there, you got a big supercell that's basically going right over the Newkirk area there. That one also has the potential for some very strong winds. These warnings have actually been up to 70 miles an hour. So it could be looking at some very strong winds and also large hail too. The large hail likely being seen with that Newkirk storm off to the west, potentially just some gusty winds there, but those storms, the trailing edge of what's going to be a longer line of storms that'll be moving through portions of Kansas. And then we also want to show too, we've been talking about a lot in the way of some large hail. We've also been talking a lot in the way of some very heavy rain too. As you can see, up in the northern part of the state where these rain showers have fallen, you've got many locations here that are coming in with radar estimated amounts here of at least 2 inches in a few spots. Other spots still pretty dry. We've also had a few more supercells that were able to pass through portions of Blaine County. That's also an area too where you've got a lot in the way of radar estimated rainfall. So where it did rain, it rained a lot. In many locations, it rained over 2 inches worth of rain. But really, though, our biggest spots have actually been farther to our southwest. As we take a look at those spots, before I turn it back to you guys, you can see that we have radar estimated amounts within Ouachita County, right around 3 inches, but Hobart in Kiowa County there, that's kind of a big bullseye of around 5 inches of radar estimated rainfall. So a lot of rain there, but again, we are noticing those storms, and let me actually just double check, make sure I'm seeing this correctly here. We actually have that Caddo County tornado warning has actually expired, so that's some good news there. So we're done with that in terms of storms within our viewing area. We'll talk about the regular forecast coming up later on. We'll send it back to you guys.
Let's take a look at the top 9 stories at 9 tonight. One 16-year-old is dead. Another 16-year-old in critical condition after a shooting last night in Tulsa.
Police say the teens were shot in the parking lot of an apartment complex. Valen Bell died at the hospital. The identity of the other teen has not been released. A first-degree murder warrant has been issued for a suspect involved in a deadly shooting at a birthday party during the weekend. Tulsa police are looking for 28-year-old Maximiliano Perez. One man was killed in the shooting. 2 others were taken to the hospital.
The cause of a school bus crash is under investigation. More police say a bus from Silo Public